Hi, I'm Bruce Newton.
And I'm Linda Newton, and this is Answers from Mom and Dad.
We want to talk to you today about a tool that you need in your relational toolbox that is the most powerful tool you can possibly have. It will serve you in your business, in your success, in family, in every relationship you have, from parent to child. This is the most important tool you could have, and that tool is...
We're going to learn how to listen. So we're going to focus on a handful of tools you can use to make you a better, more effective listener. The first thing we do is that we make eye contact, because that says, I'm listening. But we're not going to stare them down, scare them to death with a death grip look. We're simply going to make eye contact and then focus all of your attention. You're not looking at the watch, glancing at your phone. You're giving that person all of your attention, because that says you're the most important person in the world to me right now. Then we're not going to interrupt or finish their sentences. We're going to be the one place in the world where you're going to hear everything that kid has to say, everything that teenager wants to share with you, everything the boss is saying, and certainly everything your spouse is saying to you.
And the temptation from the male side of the equation is to fix things.
Yeah.
And so we want to interrupt by telling them, well, I'll tell you what you need to do about that. And in reality, this seems counterintuitive, but in fact, they just wanted you to listen. That's really hard from my point of view. I have to tell you, when I hear a problem put before me, I want to solve it. But the greater good is to just listen.
Well, that brings us to our next point. Don't give simplistic or immediate advice. Well, you just need to dump him. Oh, we've been married 20 years. Well, just quit that job. Hey, it pays great. So you listen and you don't interrupt and you don't offer quick advice.
Restrain yourself.
Yeah. Offer encouragement with leading questions like, well, what happened in? Well, what did you do about that? Now, real important, next tool is to match that person's pace, pitch, and tone. Remember, 7% of what we say is the words themselves. 37% is pace, pitch, and tone, and the rest is body language. So, if I'm going to match that person's pace and pitch, and I'm going to go, well, what'd you do then? Well, what happened after that? I'm going to lean in, listen, and I'm going to say, okay, well, what'd you do then? And what happened after that? And the next tool is to offer up that feedback. See, sometimes you think, well, I'm just listening, I'm just sitting there, and that person's going, did you even hear me? I think that, guys sometimes think, well, I can get away with it because I'm simply just sitting here.
Which means you do have to pay attention. It basically means you have to hold back on immediate retorts and advice. But at some point, you might ask the question, well, what do you think should be done about that? And they may ask you, what do you think I should do? That's when you can chime in.
Sure. But when you're leaning in, focusing the attention, then a nod, a nonverbal nod, and sigh, that says, I'm with you. That's really what this is all about. Communication is being with the person. Now, do keep an open, warm, accepting, non-judgmental attitude. Parents, if you do this with your kids, they'll tell you anything. And talk about restraint. That takes a lot of restraint.
Which means you don't roll your eyes.
Yep.
Which means you withhold judgment from your face as well. You don't let them see by your body language that you are not with this line of thinking.
Now remember, rocking back, that says, ooh, the sideways look, the stink eye. All those are saying, I don't approve. So in your brain, you're saying, okay, keep calm, carry on, keep calm, carry on, because you may want to react. But if you can stay open to that person, then they'll share with you forever. Don't be afraid of silence. Because sometimes we want to fill that silence because it's uncomfortable and our knee-jerk response is to jump in and say something. But don't be afraid of silence. And then don't be afraid to touch or hug or pat that person. I was just reading a book on grief, and there aren't words that help. What helps the most is somebody coming along and saying, I'm here, I'm with you.
Of course, let us clarify, that may not be appropriate in the workplace amongst opposite sex people. So This is more of a recommendation. That last one is in family and close friends.
Well, I hope you enjoy these tools, and we want to hear from you. What makes you feel really heard? What makes you feel listened to and connected? So thanks for listening, and stay tuned. We'll have more stuff for you later.
Like and subscribe, and please send in those questions. That gives us stuff to be talking about in the future as well. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Yeah.